Hello, everybody. We're going to do yoga, but I want to expand what we're going to talk about today into movement, and meaning all types of different types of movement. So if you're joining in thinking that you're going to do just yoga, we're going to expand that a little bit. We're going to talk about movement. And so one of the things that I think we need to understand about movement is that we do it every day, and we do it our whole life. And so talk about movement all the time. We talk about working out is to get you to connect mind, body, and spirit together. And I know that it's a really hard thing to do, but let's talk about that a little bit. We'll do some movements and talk about that. All right, so one of the things, the word for today is attention. I want you to pay attention to your breathing. Like Mr. Allen last Thursday did a great job of connecting breath with movement. I'm not going to do as much of that today. I'm going to have you pay attention to the positioning, to your strength, core, all that kind of stuff. So the word of the day is be attentive, okay? So when we're looking at movements, we're looking at three different, I got to stop this. I have a big thing right in the middle of my, all right, now we go. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. So when we think about movement, and a lot of times when we go through the day, we don't think about movement at all. It's unconscious. And so we go around all day walking, sitting, doing all kinds of different movements, and we don't think about bringing attention to that movement, okay? It's unconscious, and when we do it. So one of the things I'm going to have you do is let's sit in a sitting position, legs crossed, and a very simple movement, I'm going to put my hands right on my knees. I have a little bit of longer arms. You can put your hands in your lap. Now, when we do this, and this is what we would call a level 1 movement. It's very simple, right? Everybody can sit like this. Most everybody can sit like this. And if I bring my arms up into this position, just breathe in and then breathe out. Okay, very simple. But if I don't bring attention to what I'm doing, a lot of you, if I was watching you right now, I would see a lot of people just sort of bringing their arms up, not engaged. The breath, you'd be slumped over a little bit. So you have to engage your core, even on a very simple level 1 movement. You have to bring in attention to what you're doing. So those of you who are in athletics and spend a lot of time moving, think about how much time you don't bring attention to what you're doing, okay? And once you can do that, then you can bring attention to everything in your life, okay? All right, so this is a level 1 movement. Breathe in and breathe out. All right, now let's move to a level 2 movement. Level 2 movement. This type of movement is a level 2 movement. You can do the movement, but you're not completely great at it, skilled at it, and you have to work at it. Again, you have to bring attention to make it something that you can do very well, okay? So let's just do an old P90X exercise that I know you love. Let's do Pfeiffer scissors, right? Get it? All right, so we're gonna bring up, and we're gonna have one leg flat, one leg come up in a 90-degree angle, leg straight. Let's do 10 of those. Let's do 10 of those, okay? So we're gonna go left, right, left, right, left, right, left, and right. Now notice, I'll use myself as an example. This is a level 2 movement because I have a very hard time getting my leg completely straight and in this angle. See, I'm doing it right now, but as I continue the movement, it degrades into more of a level 2 type of movement, and I have to really bring attention to what I'm doing, okay? Now, that's kind of the sweet spot where you have to really bring a massive amounts of attention, okay? Now, let's do a level 3 movement. This is the bane of all you guys' existence when you do P90X, and that is the oblique V-up, okay? Oblique V-up. So when I'm watching people do the oblique V-up, when they first start, they're kind of flopping around like this. That would be a level 3 movement. Can't even do the movement at all. Very discouraging. So whenever you do skills that are level 3, it's very discouraging. A lot of kids, a lot of people will walk away from that fitness activity because they just can't do it. So if you're in dance and you can't do the dance, you have a tendency to, well, I'm not going to try it. And so let's do oblique V-up since we're doing this. Put your right hand on the floor, left hand behind your head. So I'm on my right side, and I want to bring my legs straight and come on up and touch, okay? So I'm going to come over here, this angle maybe a little better. Come on up. So let's try and bend at the waist and make this at least a level 2 movement. If you're like this and you can't get bend at the waist, okay? Let's do 10 on each side. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Now, one of the interesting things about those different levels of movement, your first one may start out as a 1. The middle ones go to 2, and then at the very end, you may just completely break down into level 3 type of movement. So if you try to keep that in mind, it maybe does not allow you to get as discouraged doing these things, okay? All right, let's go to the other side. We're going to do 10. Here we go. Are you ready? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I got a little fatigued at the end. My form started breaking down, level 1, 2, and 3. So does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. You can kind of do different movements and go, ooh, I'm at these different levels, okay? Now, when we're talking about movement, there's 3 big categories or variables, dimensions of movement that you need to be aware of. And the first one is, we talk about this all the time. We talk about core strength, and that's why we do P90X a lot, is to allow you to get a stronger core, okay? So let's do 4 tests. So we're going to do 4 tests. Each test is going to be 30 seconds, and you're going to see where your core is and what you need to work on. We do this at the beginning of the year, but let's do it again and just connect to that concept of core strength, okay? So we're going to do this. Now, you know you have good core strength when you do these four minimum 30 seconds, okay? So the first one is the forearm plank. The forearm plank, we did it at the beginning of the year. Let's test it out and see where we're at on this first exercise, okay? Are we ready? Set, go. So we're going for 30 seconds. Bring attention. Remember the word of the day, bring attention to your core, to your glutes. Squeeze your glutes a little bit. Now why we're doing this is you're going to see where your core strength is. And we're just going to go 30 seconds here. And time. Now, if you can do that exercise minimum 30 seconds, you're going to do a lot of different types of movements well, okay? Let's do exercise number 2, 30 seconds. Now, if you want to do this on your own and just see how long you can go, that would be a lot of fun for you. Okay, so we're going to stack our feet, and we're just going to do a side plank. And I'm going on my right side. You can be on your left side. I'm going to put my hand here, and we're going to go for 30 seconds. Okay, see, so most people are a little weaker on these sides. Okay, here we go. Ready, go. So we're coming off of our foot. We're on our forearm, and we're seeing where we're at. And time, 30 seconds. I think that was 30 seconds. I kind of got out of rhythm there. Okay, so I'm going to show you something. If you could not do that for 30 seconds, here's an option for you to build up. So we want to break down, that was a level 3 exercise. You wanted to bring it to level 2, then go off your knees, just like going off your knees in a push-up, okay? Do that for a while, and then stack your feet and try going that way, okay? So that's a little modification for this. Okay, we're gonna go for 30 seconds. I'm gonna remember this time. Ready, go.
Go get it, Marie. You got this, Marie. Let's go, Ziana.
Are you doing this, Alan, with your knee?
I got it.
All right. Now, a lot of you will find that maybe you're stronger on one side than the other. All right. Core, that's 30 seconds. Last core exercise, we're gonna do the hollow, and we're doing all the different planes of this. So we're gonna lie on our back, and what I'd like you to do, engage your core, maximum engagement. We're gonna take out that arch in our back and flatten our back to the floor, okay? Watch me before we begin. Our legs will be extended, and we're gonna go out like this for 30 seconds, okay? Are you ready? Go!
Let's go, Ella.
Don't worry, for those of you who turned into yoga, we will do some yoga. All right, time, 30 seconds, I think. All right, so those are the 4 exercises. You can test yourself periodically to see how you're doing. See if you can push that time out, okay? The next variable or dimension is balance, okay. So here we go, we're gonna do a little yoga here, people. Balance is so important. My mom was in assisted living her last 2 years. She had a stroke, she had no balance anymore. And so this is something you always have to work on, okay? All right, so we're gonna go into tabletop position. Tabletop position, we're stacking our hands underneath our shoulders. Mr. Allen showed you how to do this last week. He did a nice job of that. So tabletop, so we're just gonna do opposite arm, opposite leg balance. Very simple. For most of you, this might be a level 1 movement. For some of you, maybe it's a level 2. And if you're falling over doing this, then you know you gotta work on some things, okay? It's a level 3. Okay, so we're gonna extend our right arm and our left leg back. Now I'm gonna go for, again, our 30-second goal. Okay, ready, go. Now I'm looking, I got my feedback, I'm looking at my screen. So a lot of times kids will start dropping this back leg here or bending the back leg. So trying to get that back leg straight. I like the toe down for you runners. You see dancers do this. And 30 seconds, okay? Let's do the other side, all right? So here we go, other side. Again, you get an opportunity to check yourself in the mirror. I looked in. Now, one of the things you want to do, engage your glutes. So bring attention to your glute muscles and tighten those a little bit, and you'll find that this will be easier. I forgot when I started. Somebody will probably start timing me out there because I keep screwing up. Okay, all right. Tabletop. Now, if that was really easy and you can do that forever, you can start adding things. So if I go out, right arm, left leg back, I can start doing a twist back, okay, twist. All right, that's balance. Or I can take my back leg, I can rotate up. So there's all kinds of different things you can add to that basic exercise for balance, okay? All right, let's do the crab. Ooh, all right. I hope none of you are crabby right now. Okay, so we're gonna sit on our butt, feet out in front. We're gonna put our hands right here. Now, same as what we did before, but we're doing it the opposite way, okay? So I'm gonna lift my right foot and bring up my left hand, okay? Now, to make it a little easier, you can bring this lever, your balance foot, into your butt, and that makes it a little easier. To make it harder, you can move your lever out, okay? So here we go, up. Okay. All right, here we go, opposite. As you can see, I'm not as good about that. Okay, then we can start alternating. As you can see, when I get to this back plane, this really turns in to a level 2 to 3 movement for me. Some of you are probably pretty good at it. Oh, I'm doing opposite. All right, here we go. No wonder it was so hard. I was doing the same side, which is actually probably a pretty good exercise. Now, what I can do, I can start extending. I can start bringing my hand back. No wonder I couldn't do it. All right, so there's all kinds of things. So that's correct. So opposite arm, opposite leg, not like I did at the first, okay? Now, last thing, and I'll have to adjust my screen a little bit here. All right, we're gonna stand up this time. We've been doing a lot of things on the floor. So we're gonna stand up and we're gonna do balance on one foot. Now think about this, walking, running, you're always balancing on one foot. So this is a lot of yoga exercises in this. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with our right foot, or right leg. I'm gonna put my hands out in front, lift our knee, extend, and then come all the way back around. And I'm gonna go into warrior 3. Again, think about, bring attention to your leg, straight leg. You can focus, bring attention to one spot in front of you. Now notice my foot is kind of dropped down. I'm gonna try to bring attention to bringing that foot up and down. All right, I'm gonna go to the side this time. Again, bring attention to different parts of this movement to keep your balance. Focus on something ahead of you, and that helps a lot instead of looking around, okay? Hands out in front, left foot up, extend all the way out, and bring your foot all the way back. Now you can see me here. I'm gonna get a little lower, my attention. I'm gonna get lower, bring up my back leg. And we're holding it. I didn't put a watch on it. Okay. So those are 3 balance exercises you can check back on and see if you're getting better in balance, okay? All right, now, the last thing is mobility. Now, these 3 components of movement, you'll hear RJ, the weight room guys, gals, talk about this all the time, about mobility. To do a correct lift, you need good mobility, okay? So our first mobility exercise is we're going to get into a yogi squat, okay? Notice I'm on my heels right here. So what I'm going to do, you can have your feet slightly outward, pointed outward, and I'm going to come down and just rest right here, okay? Let's go heart, hand, center. Put my elbows in between here. You can actually turn this into, there's all kinds of exercises you can do off of this. Now, I had a kid 2 terms ago. He had such poor mobility in his ankles. He couldn't get his ankles down on the floor, and he worked on that, and by the end, he was like this, okay? Now, you can do all kinds of different movements out of this. For me, it's turned into a fairly easy thing to do. It wasn't a year ago. I can put my right hand on the floor. I can come up and do a little reach. Notice how, this is my mobility right here. I can't quite get my hand straight up and down. So I just turn this into a level 2 movement. Let's do that on the other side. So you get this twist in here. Look at this, even worse. On this side, my shoulders are not great here. So that's one thing I really struggle with in yoga, okay? So yogi squat, feet flat, okay? We'll do an exercise later on that, okay? Now, next thing, downward dog. Mr. Allen did a great job of explaining this last week, but it's a great check-in. It's a great check-in. It's sort of this thing in yoga we always go back to. And when you get good at it, it becomes a resting exercise, actually. At first it isn't, but it becomes. So what I want you to do is get into tabletop position. Notice my arms straight up and down, legs straight up and down. I'm going to curl my toes back underneath, and I'm going to go down. And now, mobility. What are we looking for here? Okay, a couple things with this. Now, notice how I'm kind of forward here. I'm kind of forward. In order to get back, I want to get back, and I want to sit a little bit back farther. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push into the floor. I want my hands completely spread. I'm going to push into the floor, into my shoulders, and push back. See how I move back in? I'm looking for a straight back through my arms up through my butt. I'm looking for a 90-degree angle here. And if you really get good at this, you can start to put your heels on the floor, okay? That's downward dog. And we're gonna do some things out of downward dog. So you're working on your hamstring mobility, shoulders again, getting those shoulders back. All right, bridge progression. Okay, last thing for mobility, okay? A lot of you like to do bridging. It's a great exercise. So I'm sideways here, good bridge exercise. Just come up and see if you have the mobility to get into this position. Now notice how there's a little balance here on my shoulders, and you need core strength too to do this. So all these movements incorporate all 3 of these dimensions, okay? Now if this is a level 1 movement, and you want to move into the level 2, make it a little more, bring a little more balance. Let's lift our right foot. Right foot. Now notice how when I lifted my right foot, my hips dropped. I have to bring attention to that. And wow, did I engage my core by bringing attention to the fact that I had dropped my hips, okay? All right, let's come down, take a little break here. All right, let's go up, let's do the other side. All right, we got the other side, left foot. I'm a little stronger on this side, it looks like. Or maybe I'm just bringing more attention to what I'm doing. That's probably it, okay? So, my dog is barking at me right now. Okay, last mobility exercise, okay? Last mobility exercise. This is the tough one.
Bye, guys.
Really tough one. Here we go. We're gonna bring our hands down. Mobility, you gotta bring your hands all the way around. And now we're gonna bring our hips up, just like that. Now try to hold this. All right. Now, I've been doing that for about a week now to prepare for this. And it's amazing how much I've improved on that, okay? Shoulder mobility, back mobility, things like that. So those are the 3 dimensions of movement, okay? All right, let's take a short little break, about 10 seconds. I'm gonna run and let my dog in, okay?
Hey, I was just gonna bring to light something that Mr. Emmons was starting to talk about, but you guys know that I suffered a pretty bad injury on one side, and I think that's something for everybody who maybe has rolled an ankle, pulled a hamstring, had surgery, to just be aware of. This is really good time to touch into your muscle balance per side. So thanks, Mr. Emmons, for bringing attention to that.
Well, thank you for bringing that up. Injuries, you can move from, all you can do is maybe level 1 movements, and then you move to level 2, and then more dynamic movement, okay? So now what we're gonna do, all right, so we got 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes left, okay? So let's bring some of this stuff that we were talking about into real life movements, different things, okay? So what I'm gonna have you do, we're gonna do different things, okay? So we'll do a little recovery, like a child's pose in between each, okay? So I'm gonna aim for the 30-second parameter for doing this exercise. Okay, so the first one, we're gonna get into tabletop. We're gonna curl our toes underneath, and we're going to lift our knees off the floor. Now this is called bear pose, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go bear to crab, okay? So watch me before you do this, okay? I'm gonna bring my knees off the floor, and I'm gonna start with my right foot. I'm gonna bring it underneath. Now I'm to crab. I'm gonna bring my left underneath. Now you can go left underneath, right underneath. So that's what we'll do. We'll go 2 on each side, 2 on the other side, so you don't end up in hammer, okay? All right, so here we go. Bear pose, we're gonna go for 30 seconds. Right foot underneath the crab. Right foot underneath the bear. Left foot underneath the crab. Left foot underneath the bear. Got it? Right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. How'd that go? Pretty good? Not bad. Now think about all the dynamics you're doing with movement there. It's incredible how much you're doing, okay? Now let's take a little break here. Let's go down into child's pose. Child pose is simply, we're gonna rest our butt back on our feet. Our feet are flat back here, and we're gonna come out and just surrender and take a moment. Now you bring attention to your heart rate, your breathing right here. That movement brought my heart rate up. Child's pose. You can rest your forehead on the floor. If that's, for some people, that movement is very difficult to do. And that's where a yoga block comes in handy. So child's pose. Okay. All right. Next one, scorpion. Okay, scorpion. All right. Again, I'm aiming for 30 seconds. So let's do as many as we can. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into downward dog. Watch me. I'm going to go into downward dog. And then I'm going to bring my right knee under. So I'm getting a good twist in here, core twist, and going all the way up. And that's a scorpion. All right. Let's do about 15 seconds on each side. So I'm going for time, not necessarily reps. So take your time doing them. It doesn't matter how many reps you do, okay? All right, are we ready? Set, downward dog, right knee. Bring it all the way over. Nice. Right knee, all the way over. Right knee. And bringing that right foot all the way back. Feel that good stretch. Bring our foot down, left, all the way over. Left knee under, and all the way over. Now, for some of you, think about what level movement this is. I can't wait to see my own movement and to see where I'm at on this. And then back down. All right, let's go down and back into child's pose. Now, let's change this just a little bit. Let's go wider knee as child pose. So some of you will find yourself getting a little deeper into child's pose. And might find this way more comfortable than having your knees right underneath you, okay? So wide knee, child's pose. All right, just stay in that pose for a second while I declothe. All right, everybody come out of that pose. Now, I'm feeling a little crabby now. Not really, this is a lot of fun for me. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back to crab. And I'm gonna have an angle here. I'll go sideways. And so crab, so all you're gonna do, this is a very simple movement. We're gonna have our left hand on the floor, right hand, we're gonna come up and then we're gonna reach as far as we can. Now, when you come down, see now to notice I could come up a little higher. I just looked at myself right there. Come up as high as you can, reaching crab. Now, if you need to rest your butt on the floor to get yourself into that position, do that. But as you get better at it, you don't have to rest your butt on the floor. So let's go 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. I'm gonna bring my left hand up and over. And notice I'm taking my time. Big stretch. And all the way over. And my mobility, I gotta work on my mobility, get my hips up. I know that. All the way over. Oh, is that 30 seconds? Yeah, okay. All right. Let's go down into child's pose again. Let's go wide knees, but this time, let's spread your feet out a little bit and then put them sideways like this, okay? Now, And then try to come down as far as you can. Now, this frog pose, oh, this is a killer for a lot of people. So be careful with it. Go right to the amount of tension that feels challenging, where you can bring attention to it, but not painful. Remember, whenever you go with pain, it brings you out of the present moment and what you're striving for, the connection, okay? Feel that stretch. You can adjust your knees a little bit. And sitting back, see how far you can sit back, okay? All right. Got a couple more minutes. Okay, scorpion transition. Scorpion transition. You're going, I hate scorpion. This is a scorpion transition. So I'm going to do one angle towards you. All I'm going to do is this. Remember our regular scorpion. We're going to come all the way over, all the way, and then I'm going to drop back. All right. Now, with the opposite foot, I'm going to tuck underneath and go back. All right. So when you do this, you'll kind of turn a little bit. Okay. So I'll do it again. One more time. Watch me. Left knee, come all the way over and drop back. Opposite knee out in front. Boom. All right. Got it? Now, remember the level 3 part of this is getting screwed up with the steps, right? So don't get discouraged with it, okay? All right, here we go. So 30 seconds. Do a couple of these on each side, all right? Right leg up, drop down, opposite knee. Left leg, all the way over, drop down. And that leg is straight out front. Let's go under. Nice. Right leg, all the way over, boom. And then, so that leg that's straight out, you bring back underneath you, okay? Here we go. Let's do one more. Drop down, and then just like that. I hope that, is everybody able to get that one? It's kind of, it takes you a little practice, so don't worry about it, okay? All right, let's go down into tabletop, okay? We're going to take our right hand up, and we're going to thread the needle. So bring your right hand through, and you're going to rest on your right shoulder, Now, I saw a yoga instructor do this. I thought it was pretty good. She had her arm up in the air when she did that. I really like that. So tabletop, right hand, thread the needle, and underneath. All right, stay there for a couple seconds. Get that stretch in. All right, that was Ms. Frick on this cell phone thingy. Okay, here we go. Now, what's really fun about these base movements that I'm showing you is when you start to connect them and you start to get really free flowing with them. So let's try doing that. We're going to go bear to crab into reaching crab, okay? So we're going to start out in our bear pose. Watch me, bear pose, okay? I'm going to go to crab, and then I'm going to reach. Come back down, underneath, right? All right, so we're doing both together now. We're linking those two, okay? All right, let's do that a few times a couple times on each side, okay? Here we go, bear pose. Take our right leg underneath to crab. Take our right hand and go up and over. Nice. Take our right knee, our right foot underneath into bear pose. Left foot underneath, left hand, reach. Come back down. Left foot underneath. Let's do one on each side again, okay? Right foot underneath, left hand up and over. All right, right foot, left foot underneath. I think I screwed up there, but it doesn't matter. Left foot underneath. And we're reaching with the left hand. This is where I haven't practiced this enough, and then underneath, boom. Oh, okay, again, linking to, remember, mind-body connection. The mind is trying to figure out, right? And you can see me going, I'm trying to explain this, and I don't have a sequence stuff, and so it turns into like a level 3 mind deal there, okay? Let's go back into tabletop, tabletop. Let's take our left hand up. Again, look at my mobility in my shoulders. Oh, man. And then bring it all the way through underneath and just rest there for a second. Now, this is a little more with you keep your elbow up, you're engaged a little bit more. If you, man, you just want to rest a minute, you can put that on the floor too. It's whatever works for you, okay? All right, now, let's do one more, well, let's do a couple more exercises. It's all about me, I'm having fun, it's not about you. Okay, so we're gonna do side-to-side legs, okay? So, we're gonna start out very simple with side-to-side legs. So, I'm gonna put one leg back, so I'm putting the left foot back behind me, right foot up here. And so watch this, watch this. I'm going to just rotate over, just like that, okay? And I'm just going to very, very easy. Let's do that a few times. Yeah, it's not very hard, is it? So for many of you, this is a level 1 movement. Now, if it's a level 2 movement already, think about the mobility that you need to work on, the flexibility, all those types of things, okay? Hopefully it's not a level 3, okay? All right, so got that. Now, pretty easy, right? Not doing a whole lot. So let's put a little, let's ramp up the intensity, okay? So now I'm gonna bring my hands out here. Now I'm going to do this without using my hands, right? So level 2, maybe. Okay, not bad, right? Okay, let's ramp it up even farther, okay? So for those of you that need a real challenge, Claire, I hope some of this stuff is working for you, okay? I know you've had that surgery, so be careful, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm not going to leave, I'm gonna take my feet off the floor now, okay? And I'm gonna have my hands in the air. Now let's do it with our hands on the floor. So we get it. It's all about getting that. Okay, now let's do without using our hands, okay? So I'm gonna put my right here. Bring attention now to all the different muscle groups that you're using. Core, balance, mobility. That's awesome. And you can pick up the pace if you get really good at it. You can do, I've seen people do this really smoothly. And you can say, God, I've improved so much in the last 2 weeks just doing these specific exercises, okay? Let's put our legs straight out because we had our legs bent, legs straight out. Let's go over our right leg just for a little bit. Come back, walk over to our left. All right, scorpion. All right, so now we're gonna link 3 of these exercises together. Okay, so watch me. We're gonna go scorpion, bear to crab to reaching crab. Okay, watch this. Okay, scorpion. I hate scorpion. You love scorpion. So I'm gonna use my right knee all the way over. And I bring that knee all the way up, or all the way through, and then back. Okay, got it? Okay, let's try that. Okay, so let's do start with our left foot, our left leg. Underneath, all the way over. Then when you come all the way over, bring that all the way through, boom, and we're gonna reach. Okay, bring it all the way through. Let's do right side. Knee all the way over, knee back, all the way under, and reach. All right, again, we just linked 3 exercises together, okay? Let's do pigeon. My yoga classes love pigeon. So let's do it, okay? Let's go into downward dog. Downward dog. And we're gonna lift our right leg up off the ground and we're gonna bring it through underneath, okay? Now, pigeon's awesome. Right knee and right foot or right hand are lined up. Right foot and left hand are lined up. So you can look down and see this, okay? And you can go down into this position. A little more of a stretch. Left hand up and get a twist. Right hand in the air. And lots of different variations, okay? Now, we're almost done. But we have more to do. We have a couple more to do, okay? Now I'm gonna come out of pigeon. I'm gonna take my back toe, curl it, and come right out into, and I wanna get a little stretch out of that pigeon pose. All right, now we're gonna do side leg kick through, side leg kick through. So I'm gonna start with my right foot. So we're gonna be, and I'm gonna do it straight on for you. We're gonna go into downward dog. And we're going to kick through, and our left hand is up in the air. Boom. Okay, just like that. Let's do 5 on each side, 5 on each side, okay? Here we go, downward dog. We're gonna take our right foot, kick it through, left hand up in the air. Left foot, kick it through. That's 1 on each side. All right, keep going, people. Again, do the best you can. Bring attention to what you're doing. All right. Very good. One more pigeon. Downward dog. And I'm pushing back, left foot in the air and bring it all the way through. Make sure you line up. Left knee with left hand, right hand with left foot. And come down. And let's come back up. Let's do a twist. Let's bring our left hand, twist. And bring our hand back down. Curl our toe into downward dog. All right. I got through everything. That's a crazy, but last thing, here's the challenge. Here's the challenge. We're gonna go into yogi squat. And I'm gonna give you a goal here. I'm gonna give you, for most of you, a level 3 movement. And see if you can work on it. Okay, so I'm gonna put my hands down in front. The hands down in front, okay? There's a couple ways you can do this. You can put your knee right behind your elbow. I happen to like to put my knees on the outside of my elbows. I see two ways of doing it. My elbows are too bony, it hurts. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tip forward. I'm putting pressure into my knees, tip forward, and I'm bringing my feet off the floor. Give that a try. Let's see what you got, okay? Try that. That ends our practice. For many of you, that will be a level 3 movement. I couldn't even come close to doing that last summer. So I'm getting better, even at my ancient old age. Let's bring it together. Cross our legs. I want to thank all of you. I don't know how many people we got. We're down to 12. I think everybody lost it at the bear, crab, scorpion reach thing. Okay, so we're gonna come down. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's do it one more time. Breathe in. Bring our hands together. Let's come to heart center. And thank you. I want to honor all of you for helping me today to do this practice. Namaste.
Namaste, Mr. Emmans.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Wilson.
Bye.